let's get into game number 2, because remember the beginning of this game was so hyped because of the crab fight. Blaber's Crabbers did strike again. We had that sick crab fight, and it came down to a very close flash and a couple of hundred HP either side, and LYON were able to snowball so nicely off of those early kills and really utilize that momentum. It did not determine the whole game because it was still very competitive and close from them. You know, Cloud9 fought back. They kind of mitigated a lot of the losses, but that was the origins of it. And now that we are in Fearless, we get to wipe away all of those champions. Okay. And it looks like Cloud9 are very worried about split push right now. LYON is a team that has utilized Nocturne and Rise and a lot of long range. You know, they even did the Nocturne plus Xerath combo for Assassinate. I'm not saying that one worked, but they did use it. And so Cloud9 are scared of a lot of this long range, you know, split push, you know, assassination stuff. So they just, you know what, we're taking Nocturne off the table there. They also take off the Rise. Yeah, we might have to remake a, you know, chip select or something, or maybe
just the graphic. It's all
maybe
fine.
It's just a little, you know, keep you on your toes, Flowers.
Yeah. Just keep making sure that I'm paying attention. But the the Nocturne, the Rise, the Jace, another one of those split push type champs that they want to remove from the pool for LYON. LYON, however, they did continue banning the 2 perma bans of Varus and Vi on the red side, but they decided to let Yone slip through. They wanted to prioritize banning the Gwen instead, and that means C9 is fast to lock the Yone.
And Sejuani is blocked for Fearless, so at the very least, you're not as scared about like, oh, well, we have to steal the Sejuani now, because it was used in the last game, so that one's blocked out. You don't get that mega synergy with the Yone, but still no hesitation from Cloud9 to slam that one. And it looks like Licorice will just go with the general pick here, the Renekton, after the old buffs. Everybody pretty happy with slamming this one anyways. It's always been a very good blind pick. Even though you could rotate Yone, we're expecting that one to still stay mid.
Yep, they'll fast lock the Croc, and the stats at the bottom there, when he got locked in, 12 wins, 4 losses.
You like them stats?
Yeah.
Good numbers?
That Crocodile's doing good. Those waters are scary.
Good looking percentages.
Yeah. All right, so they got the Maokai with it. We've got 2 different point-and-click CCs. This is some really solid setup here for LYON.
It certainly is. Some good beef as well, some good front line for them. So
Meatballs.
Seeing that meat, they're going to go with some percentage HP damage.
Okay.
Lillia brings a lot of that. Plus, you want some AP to go with your Yone in mid lane. So no-brainer here for Blaber Lillia into the Maokai, into the Renekton. And they want to get Thanatos, his Gnar, before we go to the next phase of bans, because you know that thing is getting banned. I mean, you go down you go down the list of champions that Thanatos loves the most, and you're like, whoa, and Bessa's out because Fearless. Jace is banned by us, and Renekton was already taken away. Like, we need to grab this Gnar now.
There's one left.
Like, the Gnar stocks are really, really high. We do not want to let that get banned out in the next phase. We need something good into the Renekton that he is also super duper confident on. So nice little grab there.
And I like LYON responding by picking up the Sylas for themselves here, also saying, hey, we want to lock in both of our solo lanes too before more bans come in. Sylas, we always talk about how much he loves defensive ultimates like Xin Zhao, who's, you know, already banned away because of Fearless. He loves fighting against Alistars, but another ulti he loves is Gnar, because Sylas gets to Mega Gnar without having to worry about the bar. He just gets to bypass the limiting part of the ulti and use the best part.
Mega Sylas.
Mega Sylas.
And does he shout his own name when he does it as well?
Sylas!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or does he also shout Gnar?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Dev team, please, tag me on Twitter and answer that question. I'm very curious now.
I'm going to say he shouts Gnar, because Sylas is all about, like, you know, imitating others.
A true imitation of their magic.
Only the ults, but he fully commits to imitating the ults.
He's all the way in.
And
He's
yelling Gnar when you Gnar out is part of it.
Well, I still hope there's... What if it's like an Easter egg? Like, you know how Leona reduces, like, sun damage by 1 or whatever?
Yeah.
She has,
is that even still in the game?
No, it was like Vi had that sunglasses.
Yeah.
But something like that. Some like 1% chance that whenever he says Gnar, he might yell Sylas. I hope that the Sylas VA recorded a line just for that. But, okay, let's catch up with the second half of the draft, because once again, we're looking for supports and AD carries, or I should say bot laners, because you can see here that LYON ban out the Ezreal and the Ziggs, expecting that to potentially be an answer from Zven in the bottom lane. And now you've got the Lucian and Nico banned out by C9 as LYON lock in the Kalista.
This is like that Dignitas comp where we go as short of range as possible, bunch of meatball brawlers and Kalista.
Send it.
But since Dignitas had that longest game versus Shopify Rebellion with this comp, and they did win, Kalista has been nerfed.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried for LYON here, but let's see what Cloud9 want to use as far as counter engage. Whenever you're like, you know, you see a lot of this all-in type of champion select coming from your opponents. You're thinking as much counter engage as possible. Lillia is already some. Misfortune here. It's going to have a lot of people diving at her, but if you can create that space, everybody's going to be grouped up because they're all short-range melee. So there could be really, really high highs for a Misfortune, or she just get dumped on. And
well, she also does have her best buddy, Lillia, because...
And Poppy's the best buddy. That's the new best buddy, the blocker.
That's the new best buddy.
I think Poppy W is the best buddy of all buddies in this whole game.
It's a very, very good game to play the Poppy. I absolutely agree.
That's a good Yordle right there.
Yeah, I mean, Misfortune has a couple really good buddies here. Poppy to protect her, and Lillia to set her up for the big bullet time, since it doesn't technically count as a hit to wake you up from the sleep. Very effective. And oh, how, Kobe, I can't believe it. They locked in Renata Glasc after Kalista. I can't believe it. These two champions.
Renata really does change the way that some of these like shorter range kind of all-in comps work. So, I mean, it is a clutch pick, and yeah, that one still being left up, I think, is very valuable for LYON because it does allow so much more as far as now you have to worry about also the huge area that Renata ult can sweep by. That can be one of the longer range answers to Misfortune ult. Even though Renata ult moves pretty slowly, you know, you can still answer very quickly with that, and the bailout is dream scenario for all those frontliners.
Non-subscribers, we'll see you guys in 30 seconds, but for everybody else, honestly, I love both support picks in this draft. I think that what you said is spot on. The Poppy just has so much value against all of these guys that want to dive in on the LYON side. You can stop Renekton, you can stop Sylas. Kalista, who just has hopping as her passive, pretty hard to hop in Steadfast Presence.
I might even say impossible.
Impossible.
You might have to just auto attack and stand still.
Impossible hoppable. Well, that's not why are you even picking Kalista? If you're standing still auto attacking, what is the point of your champion? But it looks like we're not going to get anything.
What is life?
Yeah, it's just the meaning just evades us. As we do have, it looks like pretty standard stuff here at level 1. So while nobody's really getting into anything wild, I do want to talk again about Loki and Saint, which is like our featured matchup of this head-to-head. Coming into this game, Loki has been a big performer for C9. He's been putting up a lot of really good performances, but in game number 1, he got outclassed by Saint. That Lillia was making so many plays, so many moves, and really doing a lot of work for LYON.
Yeah, certainly was. And, you know, the stats back up what you're talking about. Loki had racked up some pretty good stats heading into this match. I think the previous weekend was exceptionally good for him, but Saint came out here with a grudge, and he was able to get the upper hand in the first one. Now he's on the Sylas here. So let's see how he can do. I like the Sylas angle. He has gone for the grasp as well on it. So even favoring it over that Conqueror for some extra HP stacking, for some really good lane phase trades. I mean, in a melee matchup here, you know, is definitely going to be able to stack it up. He also has a Maokai as the jungle, which is really easy setup. So yeah, Loki's going to have to be careful. Like, there's a lot of lockdown Loki's playing into here, and his jungler, Blaber, on Lillia is got to be focused on farming.
Well, both of our junglers are starting in that bottom side of the map, just like we saw last time. Now, if we go into the rewind machine here for a second. Back to last game. Okay. We're back into the rewind machine.
Wait.
Game number 1, hold on. We got to jump back into the present time machine. Never mind. Okay, we're down to 200 HP. It's fine. But in game number 1, when we had these bot to top clears and the junglers met in the top side river and they fought with the top laners, it was LYON, 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 LYON the whole way. It's what got the game started, not even 4 minutes in. And I think if you're Cloud9, you are painfully aware of how bad that went last game.
Yeah, definitely agree there. And Oddielan does make the early pass, it doesn't cost a lot of time for Maokai to do this. So, you know, I am a bit of a fan. Only problem is you're facing a Lillia, and Blaber sees that, and he's like, whoa, Maokai's already going to be delayed. So there's a lot of options there for Blaber after he finishes his own clear to go harass the Maokai or look at some of the lane matchups. Fortunately for Oddielan, he does have some priority in both solo lanes at the moment that can help him deal with that. Plus, as you see on the minimap, he has both jungle entrances warded. So they are preparing for a Blaber move right now. Yes, thank you, observers, because they showed the Maokai, but they have preemptive wards to see where will Blaber go afterwards. Topside Scuttle Crab will probably be the first stop, and then after he's done with Scuttle Crab, he'll have some options.
Okay, well, that top lane is totally dominated by Licorice right now, who does have the early push. Blaber will hop, skip, and jump his way towards this mid lane now. Saint saw him on the ward, and Blaber's bowling ball just barely hits the gutter.
Yep, hits him with the S right afterwards. Stop in front of him, dodge the ball. Oh, wait, we got bottom lane coming up. Bottom lane coming up. Are we going to get another Blaber Crabber?
Blaber could be in a Bambi situation. No, he's fine. Okay.
He got both of them.
He got double crab. Feels Goodman.
You were talking about like the unseen, like little passives, 1% things in League of Legends. We have got to put one in for double crabs for Blaber.
Yeah. Like Blaber just has a 1% chance to get both crabs no matter what.
We are always, you know, Blaber crabbers right now. Let's see, with this tremendous early lead on the Lillia, he's got the Faded Ashes plus the control ward. So
yeah, a little bit of extra vision there thanks to Mr. Crab number 2.
Extra cash. Crab cash.
You can transmute crabs into wards. It's powerful magic, only learnable by magical creatures.
Only
like
learnable
Lillia.
by the devout Cloud9 acolytes.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be at least a disciple of Blaber's Crabbers to be able to understand these dark magics. But back in mid lane, Saint versus Loki here, you can see they've both already used the teleports to return to lane. It is a slight HP advantage for Saint on this Sylas. Getting closer and closer to level 6, though, that's where I expect the action to break out because Yone's ulti is super strong. And you know who can also have Yone's ulti? Sylas. So that's 2 of them.
Okay, Blaber comes to help get the push for Loki to get his recall a little bit earlier. But really, I'm kind of looking at bottom side because I'm a little bit of a Kalista hater. I'll say it.
Hey, I'm in the club with you.
Especially after the recent nerfs, okay. But Hena and Lyonz, you know, when you've got the Renata by your side, I think my love of Renata overcompensates for my dislike of Kalista.
Ah, okay. Renata does enable some really hype stuff with her bailout. Like when you barely survive because of that thing and you hang on with just a sliver of HP and what could have been a bad play becomes a good play.
Yeah.
That's the Renata moment right there. That's when the guy locking Renata knows he made the right choice.
Definitely agree. Let me click on Saint here and see how many grass stacks he's actually gotten in this game.
Yeah.
Because he's constantly been going for trades, you know, so he's getting a huge amount of value. He's already got 35 extra max health. Okay, going in again.
Oh, Fate Sealed arrives from Loki, and Blaber's ready to follow it up. Saint wants to get away, but Loki stands in the way of it. Saint survives with 100 HP as Blaber puts him to sleep at the very end of it. He hits level 6 in the middle of the fight, and Blaber is first on the board.
That was nice, and every little bit of experience does count.
The crabs!
The crabs right there. First Blood, sponsored by Blaber's Crabbers. Jack, you'll drop the link for those shirts in chat right now.
It's a great time to buy a shirt.
We got you, Jack. Those are good-looking meme shirts. Blaber is able to get that first blood, transmutes Saint himself into gold. Take another look at it, though. We were talking about his grass stacks, but this is the setup here. Loki into Blaber, and then look at the minions. He's going to be able to clap that last range one there, gets his level 6, and go to sleep under tower. Blaber uses the flash to finish it off quite nicely. On the other side, your consolation prize is the dragon, the objective here for Lion.
Yep, so they'll take that first one. Hex Dragon, it's one of those that just always feels good to have no matter what. I mean, attack speed and ability haste, no matter what champion or role you are, you're always just going to get some value out of those. So nicely picked up there. We still have 25 seconds until the grubs spawn. Remember that in the previous game, LYON had all the control at this point, and C9 tried to make a play on Saint mid right before the grubs to catch him off guard, see if maybe that could open up a path to the grubs.
Yeah.
But LYON shut that down. This time around, maybe things go the other way. Maybe it's LYON who try to do something, because I do want to see them try to make some proactive moves here. You already said they've got the chuck meatballs at him comp. So it's time to start chucking.
All right, well, they're trucking their way right over to the grubs right now. And Blaber's going to chuck his bowling ball into those grubs.
Just toss that thing.
Now maybe we throw some saplings too here from Oddielan as he comes over. There we go.
All right, everybody's tossing stuff towards the grubs. Bowling ball misses, rolls right by Saint. Those grubs are fast. They are running right back into the pit now as Oddielan and Lyonz are going to start doing the work on these two. Remember, because of the changes to the grubs and the fact that there's only 3 of them now, whoever gets 2 of the 3 gets credit towards the neutral objective feat. And you have to have all 3 to summon the little void buggies. So nobody gets any buggies, but it's a 2-to-1 lead and a point towards the feet for LYON with the grubs.
Oh, look at the mini-map. Cloud9 are sending defense over. So this is taking so long. It might go bad for LYON because Blaber is coming over, and they also have
Vulcan tackles over the wall. Oddielan and Lyonz in a bit of a bad spot now. Licorice needs to pop the Dominus, ready to join up on the fight. Vulcan locked up, beat down, ruthless Predator claims a victim, and Licorice makes it a winning trade for LYON.
Yeah, okay, never mind. It's not going to go bad for LYON at all.
That's totally fine.
Because just the Poppy goes in there early. So while theoretically it could be a 3-on-3, realistically, it was a Poppy alone.
Yeah, that's
taking a bunch of extra damage, and like Blaber was kind of close, and Thanatos was kind of close, but Licorice goes down, so turns out not anyone's best buddy there.
That was a dead fast presence.
Yeah.
That was just...
I like that.
You saw him and then he was dead.
That was
It didn't
good.
take very long.
I like that.
We're having fun with the game here today as Saint and Loki, they're scrapping again. Loki ready to go in here with that Soul Unbound. Saint having no mana left, that is not a happy Sylas. It's time to go home.
Yeah, he's got like a couple extra CS, but the kill was really painful when they delivered the first blood over to him. Ever since then, though, still fine. You know, still remaining pretty constant here in the mid lane. Still stacking up his grasp, stacking up that max health. Meanwhile, okay, he's still at 0 mana, so
dude, he really wants all these. Oh, the fate sealed, Saint!
Okay.
Man, we were just talking about how this felt a little audacious, and now it's really audacious.
I kind of like it though because round 1 went to Saint. Game number 1, he blasted him, right?
Okay.
So this is round 2.
You're playing
After
for
the
the full
bell.
boxing match. You want to see this go all the way.
I want to see it go all the way. You know, we got to get Loki's revenge first here and set us up for round 3 in the future. But yeah, beautiful, nice solo kill there. Loki does punish Saint for sticking around with the low mana, with the low health, goes in for it. The ultimate finds the kill. Now he doesn't have flash, but definitely worth it. IMO. Let's take another look at how he does it. E forward. And Saint's like, you know what? I'm going to go in and get one more grass proc while I finish off these minions. And I'm chilling now. One more minion.
Man. That's 1 minion.
Not chilling.
That guy's worth, what, 15 gold?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen people die for cannons.
Yeah, if it was
That
a
wasn't
cannon.
even a cannon.
If it was a cannon, I would understand it. That wasn't even a melee minion.
Yeah.
That was a caster minion. That is worthless.
No respect for that Yone ulti. No respect for that damage.
Oof. Well, Saint is not going to be able to get that one back. Just going to have to live with it. 600 gold lead for C9. So nothing super crazy, but feels way better than last game did at this point, as we have 30 seconds before our next Drake spawns. Still a long way off on the Herald. LYON going to look for an opportunity to at least put some pressure down here on bottom lane. Zven backs away, but it's still going to afford Hena and Lyonz enough time to take some turret plates.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it earlier where Lyonz and Hena, they've kept up that pressure. They are doing the Kalista and Renata players proud. Turret plate money, CS lead for themselves, constant pressure over to the Dragons as well. They can just go over here and help Oddielan out with the objectives on top of it. So bot lane doing their job quite nicely for LYON so far. And That will be Dragon number 2, and it will be objective number 3, Flowers, as you pointed out with the double grub pickup.
Oh, yeah. That's the first feat claimed. Okay, so LYON have that one. We're seeing work being done on the turret top side for C9 and the turret bottom side for LYON, but it does seem like still its most damage has been done to that bottom lane tier 1 by LYON. So if they can keep that pressure up, they might be able to claim that feat for themselves. Cloud9 is closer to getting the one for kills, as Thanatos really doing a lot of damage to Licorice here, who pops the Dominus to survive. It looked like he actually popped it after the Frenzy procced, and so it didn't get the kill, but ooh, and he even gets his recall interrupted. Licorice being a little bit lazy on the recall here. Come on, man. Saint already made this mistake of overstaying. Do not overstay, brother.
Yeah, he's out now, and they got Lyonz on the reset, so he'll have plenty of time to come teleport back. He even gets the minion, so the delay doesn't even drop a minion. All good. He's got his support clearing out his vision for him. Okay. Clean up that top lane. Tidy home is a happy home, Flowers.
Yeah, got to make sure all the dust is out of there, clean the cobwebs out of the corners, pick up all the junk on the floor.
Yeah, you're going to have a much happier top laner.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, if that's the clean part of the house, down here in the bot lane is about to be the party room, because these two guys never stop.
That's where
fighting.
I'm hanging out.
Yeah, this room needs a lot of work, because these guys are always making a mess, breaking the furniture, knocking stuff off the walls. It's a real rowdy problem. But that's the best kind of room to hang out in. I agree, because there's always entertainment, and I feel like these two are going to keep this up for probably the most of this game.
And I feel like Saint wants a little bit of revenge, you know?
Yeah.
He has the flash advantage for now from the previous time. He also knows that ward in the Tri-Brush was just cleared by a Poppy, so probably not going to go for any trades anytime soon, since we just saw that Poppy there. But once his team gets down here, and Oddielan does arrive too, he goes for 1.
This is not a particularly close trading pattern at this point in time. Saint wanted to jump in, but then Loki just smacks him around with this completed Blade of the Ruined King. Feeling real good with that. This has been like the strongest dueling item in League of Legends forever, and for good reason. It is
we got
so
a skirmish
powerful.
possibility.
Vulcan showing up. Oh, a beautiful stoppage on the chains comes out from Vulcan with a steadfast presence. And now Loki just runs away with a fate sealed. Vulcan using the Keeper's Verdict to knock Oddielan back so he can't keep him contained. Still flashes away from the handshake at the very end to guarantee they don't give anything back, and C9 are up 1,500 gold.
Vulcan turns that one around. What I tell you, best buddy for everybody on the map. That Poppy W, he actually had the perfect positioning, slipping into the lane brush. Love lane ganks like that. Did not expect it on the side of LYON. And so Vulcan comes in, the hero. Meanwhile, with all that focus on the party room, Flowers.
And now back up in the attic, they knocked over one of the support beams. That was actually really clutch for Cloud9. They took that top lane tier 1 turret just faster than LYON got the tier 1 bottom like I was talking about. That's the race for the turret objectives. C9, now the ones who get to claim the feats, the empowered boots, and to top it all off, they're going to grab the Herald no contest. This early game is feeling great for them.
Yeah, they barely got those feats just in time, that little tower race doing it for them. So now you get the nice, fresh, new, cheap upgrades for your sneakers for everybody.
I love nice, fresh, cheap shoes. That's just let me go to the store, buy a pair of shoes for $15.
So, okay, when we say cheap, we mean the price, not the quality. The quality is still high.
Okay.
But the price is dropping.
It's just like, why is the price so low? This shoe is so high quality.
Exactly. They're not cheap make. They are on sale.
They're name brand, but they're just...
It's a new season,
they're
so they're on
overstocked.
sale.
Yeah,
They made them last season.
That's
last
true.
season's fashion,
It's
but they still
last
look
year's
good.
shoe.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's discounted this year. All right, I can get behind this. We're not buying bargain bin shoes.
Yeah.
We're just buying shoes from last year.
Zven is. He's still sitting on the brown bag bargain shoes,
okay,
so.
yeah. Zven's not doing so great in his footwear department, but Saint's not doing so great in the 1v1 department. Loki is just firmly in the driver's seat right now, and if Saint doesn't watch it, he's about to get stuffed in the trunk. What? Dude, he is not doing very good.
That's morbid.
Yeah, they're going to have to go bury him in the woods. Loki is absolutely messing him up in these 1v1s.
Monka.
Licorice, though, down here in the bottom lane against Thanatos, he's having a similar experience. The solo laners for Cloud9 are both winning their matchups and winning them in a strong enough way that LYON is going to have to start sending some help over there. As Hena puts a lot of spears into Blaber, a little bit more damage might just get this done. The rend is his end as Hena gets a kill critically there to try to keep LYON in this game as Cloud9 keeps building leads.
I always think it's comical when somebody pops out of the Rift Herald and then instantly dies. Hena was like, where are you going, Bambi?
Get over here.
Hena chasing him down. This Kalista, you know what? Maybe I'm not that big of a Kalista hater anymore. Anyways, Blaber jumps in. He's like, uh-oh. Hena's right next to me now. Hena was hopping on over to the ejection site. And Blaber wanted to get his ulti on too, but Hena just finishes the job there, hops his way right back out, even with the Misfortune ultimate covering. So let's get back to live here.
That was a short drive for disastrous results. Blaber just drove down the street and managed to wreck the car. I mean, they almost got the turret at least, so one more auto attack.
Stick to the crabs. No more driving.
Yeah. The Herald.
Rift Herald's too big. That's like a crab that got transformed by the Baron
or something?
power.
Yeah, like Baron.
Void energy.
Irradiated the crab, and then
Baron
became
leaks.
Shelly. Oh, Hena in trouble. Vulcan dives in with a steadfast presence, and Loki follows it up with a fade sealed. Hena wants to try to get one back onto Vulcan and use the bailout, but he can't quite do it in time. It's still a 1-for-1 trade as Vulcan falls, but it's not fast enough to save Hena. C9, they knew the Kalista did not have the flash after he had to use it after the earlier kill on Blaber, and they immediately jump on him.
Yeah, Hena has really been pumping though. Still they get one back at least, even though yeah, it is just a support kill. But yeah, Hena is really trying here for LYON. He is their hope, and he does actually finish the Rage Blade with a little bit of extra cash there. So maybe that's the hope, you know, continue to play around it. You got all the meatballs, flowers you're talking about, group up, and make engages for Hena right now. See if you can get chase down kills. He is the person on 2-item power spike. They're going topside with 3 members.
Twisted advance to lock up Loki, follows it up with a handshake, but where's the damage? Saint's the only man that does damage, and he needs to do a little bit more than he's doing right now. Saint picks up the kill. Loki drops. Now Saint, Oddielan, and Lyonz got to get away. You could see right there that Blaber wanted to try to use the sleep on Saint, but the McHale's completed first for Lyonz. Azael always talks about how much he loves this as a first support item. I wholeheartedly agree with him. It gives you so much power to stop your opponents from being able to make plays or even counter plays like that.
When you're playing versus stuff like Ashe Arrow and Lillia Sleep, I 100% agree. So much value there in that rush. And I will say, even though Cloud9 still have their gold lead, couple of picks here for LYON really will start to add up because they've already stacked up 3 dragons. So you give them a little bit of money, you know, you give Hena a little bit of room to work with. That could easily be a Dragon Soul very soon for LYON, and then Cloud9 will truly be sweating. They might already be sweating a little bit as LYON are starting up the Otacon, though. This is definitely dangerous.
Okay, LYON are really pushing it. Let's see if C9 can try to stop them. The Lillia throws the bowling ball in, but it only finds the objective itself. But now Licorice has been caught out in the river. The Crocodile needs to try to get away from this. He's just distracting C9 while the Thornbound Otacon is claimed by LYON. Now Loki's arrived, but he's all alone. He tries to go after Licorice, but his Fate Seal can't make it back over the wall. Loki dies. Saint picks up the kill. Now Vulcan goes over to try to get something back in the bullet time. Can't get any kills. It's a disaster for Cloud9. And LYON finds a miracle at Otacon.
LYON are going to do it again, Flowers. This is actually crazy from them. They've got the Dragon Soul point. They've got the Otacon Flowers. They want Blaber himself.
Oh, they hit him with a handshake, and now they got the smite too. Hostile takeover, and that deer is out of here.
And
picking up another one.
They're going to go for Thanatos next. He's got a recall. Got to get out there. Can Licorice stop him? Okay, they don't go upriver. The rest of the team does not chase. Thought they were going to go for more because LYON have just been on a tear. They're ripping Cloud9 a new one.
Kobe, I'm looking everywhere. I can't find Cloud9's lead. What happened to it?
It's gone. Lions stole it. All right, let's look at this. So many spears. The no hesitation from Lion is just crazy. They immediately start the Oddielan. They burn it down. They rend it. And Cloud9 are just slow to the play. Loki teleports in. Oddielan gets in front of him, so the ult does not take him over the wall. By the time he gets out of the CC and tries to queue over, they already have enough damage to finish the kill. So on top of getting the Oddielan, on top of getting the empowered petals all cleaned up for themselves, they also get the teleport and the life of Loki. Look at the drop-off there from Cloud9 blue into Lion red here.
Beautiful stuff at Oddielan for Lion. Now with the gold dead, even the advantages they have in terms of those dragons you were talking about are much more of a difference maker than money is. And Lion is all grouped up for this 10-second Drake spawn that will be Ocean Soul if they secure it. That is an early Ocean Soul. 23 minutes into the game, Cloud9 has to try to stop this.
And you know, beef balls go great with Ocean Soul, I've heard.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay told me that one himself. So
you gotta have some water to wash down the
it.
meatballs as Saint steals away. The fate sealed. A lot of Kalista spears into the dragon here already. Saint trying to do a little bit of damage to Vulcan as the bullet time flies through. Does a ton of damage over to Lyonz. Lion scrambling to try to take the fight now as they secure the Ocean Soul. Vulcan tries to run away off to the side, and Loki is already down in the fight. Lion staying alive. Blaber locked up in the middle of everybody as Cloud9 completely falls to pieces. And Lion are the ones swinging the hammer. 10-4 game. Ocean Soul 2,000 gold lead. Lion roar to life.
Honor, Hena, and Lyonz. Holy moly, this bottom lane is clutch. They are carrying it. They force the objectives. They're going to tower dive Thanatos. He flashes to escape with his life flowers, but for how long?
This is crazy, man. Cloud9 had a 2,000 gold lead for a lot of this early game, and Lion, with their Oddielan play into their beautiful Soul team fight to follow it up, have just been smacking them.
Man, I want to get some comms listen-ins as well from the Lions side, because this is a team that speaks 3 different languages and have been really well coordinated. Here's another look at it. Blaber went for the flash in for the sleep into the misfortune combo, which you were talking about in Champion Select, but look at the counter engage from Lyonz. They committed to the rend to finish the objective, and then they went for the flash engage. So not only did they get the Dragon Soul, but they also win the fight afterwards, collecting all of these extra kills. The only one who got to sneak away with his life was Thanatos himself, but that is going to be enough to push them over the edge, because now you have all of this healing from the Ocean Soul to just drive forward for this Lion squad, and they could continue to force on objectives. Baron is going to be up in only 4 seconds. They can start it and turn as many times as they want. With the Ocean Soul healing, they will take 0 damage from Baron. So you just put a Maokai sapling in every brush that leads up to Baron, start it over and over again, and then if they come close, you just Maokai ult and Sylas and look for the turn.
And earlier on, you were talking about Saint probably wants his revenge. He got it in that Soul fight. With his stolen fate sealed, he managed to jump onto Loki and blow him up. He died with the actual Yone ulti still ready to be cast. He never got to use a single spell in that fight. Incredible stuff from Lion, as now they are starting up that Baron. The Ocean Soul is going to make it not a problem whatsoever. Licorice, he's not winning the 1v1 against Thanatos down here in the bottom lane, but he doesn't have to. He just has to keep track of him and be ready to teleport if needed. As C9 squares up and gets ready to try to challenge here for the Baron. Licorice knocked out of the fight here by the Keeper's Verdict as Oddielan. Oh, the objective bounty is claimed. It's Loki stealing it away. You got to be kidding me. Oddielan mistimes the smite, and C9 are looking to maybe find an angle back into the game. Now Loki wants the outplay against Saint. Hena shows up in time to guarantee it won't happen, but that is a massive blunder from Oddielan and Lion.
Holy moly. Okay, so Rend and Smite are not macroed together.
No.
So you still have to coordinate it, and Saint, Loki just sneaks in there. Like, he actually just gets, we got to take another look whether it's an auto or a Q, but Loki over the back of the pits. Take a look at the split on the damage, because there is a live, towers going down at the moment, but
it already got rended.
He ulted through.
Oh, wow. It got rended from 3,300 down to like 1,800, then DPS to 1,300, Smote down to 100, and Yone's Omae wa mu shinderu just immediately kills it. That is crazy.
All right, anyways.
Okay, we're back in the game. Lion still has a lead, but C9's got Baron for the next 2 minutes.
So does Loki then get the upper hand in the last laugh now? Because he just was able to steal Baron there with the Yone and kind of clutch a possible comeback angle for Cloud9. I'll still say Lion with their Ocean Soul feeling very, very good, but now we're in for some possible moves from Cloud9. I mean, they are scaling up quite nicely for themselves too. Let's see about it. Gnar, if they can get him back out to the side lane. Thanatos, okay, now he finishes the Wit's End.
Okay. He's very strong against Licorice's Renekton. In the 1v1, Thanatos is getting the better of him in the trades. One important thing to also note with these timers, C9's got Baron for the next minute. Elder Dragon spawns in a minute and a half. So C9 has the tools to control the Rift and control the waves up until that objective is about to spawn. So theoretically, they should have control over the pit if they want that. And they should want that. Just for clarification.
In theory.
For clarification.
In theory, they should want that. All right, slowly move up. Maokai saplings, brush by brush.
All right, Lyonz ready to face check. Eats a little bit of damage from the bowling ball, but honestly nothing really serious. Vulcan just trying to maintain enough position to see what Lion are doing as they make their approach. 1 minute until the Elder Dragon. C9 just continuing to try to apply some pressure to mid and bot wave at the same time. Loki, the one pushing up down here, as Oddielan swooping around to try to cut him off, but he can't make it down to where the soul was placed in time. Loki recognizes, hey, this is not a good sign. I've got to back out of here. And now only 30 seconds left until we get that Elder Dragon. Thanatos goes in for the Mega Gnar play onto Oddielan. They want to go after the enemy jungler to try to secure the Elder. Meanwhile, they try to use Loki to grab the engage here onto Hena and Lyonz off to the side. Hena's going to be in some trouble, tries to use the cleanse, getting himself away, wants to fight back onto Blaber as the redemption comes down. Lion looking to keep his AD carry alive, but Vulcan jumps in here with a steadfast presence. Sane is already dominating though, and Zven is already down. Both AD carries out of the picture. Loki tries to go solo unbound to get away, but Licorice with the flash over the wall. The Ruthless Predator finds another kill. Blaber and Vulcan trying to escape the Renekton as Thanatos does his best on the back end of the fight, dealing with Oddielan and Lyonz, who just try to control the C9 top laner. Saint ready to rejoin the fight as Oddielan jumps over the wall with twisted advance and Blaber is down. Thanatos and Vulcan on the run. Lion on the hunt. Thanatos tries to escape, but the slice into the stun is ready to lock him up yet again, and Oddielan's twisted advance chases him down. Steric's Gauge will buy more time. Licorice gets a slice and a dice, and it feels so nice. Licorice goes on a rampage. Saint goes for the enemy base, and only Vulcan's left standing.
And that's got to be Elder Dragon for Lion. The Ocean Soul doing so much work, Flowers. They healed over and over and over in the long chase. Even though Hena goes down, Lion will be triumphant. They take the mid tower, they take the Elder Dragon, and Saint's even gonna yoink your red buff.
What a game from Lion. What a series from Lion. I cannot praise this performance enough. Saint just needs a little... Is Vulcan going to steal it with a poppy punch? Okay, yeah, he does. That's fine. That's fine. Everything before that was so great for Lion. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one. Fine. Okay. You can keep your own red buff. Here's another look at it. It gets so split because initially Cloud9 are trying to group onto Oddielan, and then Hena and Lyonz were following the play, so they kind of get caught on the backside, and Hena here fights his way out. Lion tries to provide as much support over the wall as he possibly can, but with the flash through, Blaber and Vulcan are able to finish him off. But the other side of the screen, Flowers, is where Lion decimated the rest of Cloud9 while all that was going on. And with the Ocean Soul, they're able to survive long enough. They go for the chase. Saint wraps around the red buff, so when Blaber tries to chase Licorice a little too far, he just goes back in for the stun. Then Oddielan over the wall, Saint from the other side of the jungle, and they're able to get the mega buff that is Elder Dragon.
And we can still Baron again?
Yeah, that's the hope.
Maybe we can steal Baron again.
Maybe we can just steal something again.
That's pretty much it, man, because LYON with the Elder have made their way into the enemy base. That first inhibitor is going to fall in mid lane, and Licorice has the wave ready to push up bottom. Now, at least they don't have Baron, so the wave can be cleared pretty easily. Vulcan, though, caught up a little bit as Oddielan tries to provide the CC so they can get the kill. Hostile takeover, forcing the rest of C9 back, and C9 are now staring down the barrel of a 4v5 of an Elder Dragon team for the next 55 seconds still. LYON have knocked down 2 inhibitors, and they're ready to keep going. Saint has stolen away the Mega Gnar ulti. He slams Thanatos and Zven back into the Nexus itself as Licorice is going to be shredded by the bullet time, and Saint uses the Zhonyas to immune it. LYON continue their push, and C9 have lost their mid laner. The Elder Dragon doing a lot of work as Saint will finally die. LYON have gone too far as their support will now fall as well. Thanatos should be able to pick that one up. No bailout, no way. LYON will crack a couple of inhibitors. They will take a single Nexus turret,
Another one.
but it will cost them so much. Hena wants to try to turn it around onto Thanatos for the Elder Dragon execution, but the Mega Gnar transformation keeps him going. And C9 are now barreling down mid lane. Hena's the only one left alive. Blaber might just be able to kill him, but he can't quite find the damage.
Go Baron.
The damage over time isn't enough. They don't have to steal Baron now because C9 just earned it.
Yeah, they earned it. They defend their base. The remnants there under the Nexus Tower. Flowers. Baron will be their prize. Objective bounty shutdown will further cut down on this gold lead.
Wow.
And Cloud9 still live.
What a game we are getting here in game number 2 of this series. C9 secure the Baron, but at the cost of bottom lane inhibitor, mid lane inhibitor, and 1 Nexus turret.
LTA is just bangers all day, Flowers.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. We're inside the base. LYON are like, you know what? I don't care. 4v5, we've got the Elder Dragon buff, and we have the Ocean Soul. So they thought for sure we could just keep fighting. They finish up that bottom inhibitor. Finally, they get Saint to rejoin here. They've got all 5 members grouped up, and they go for the dive. Saint leads the way to their doom. It is the counter of the Misfortune ult over the top that is so much damage they can't recover their fight from it. If you count how many tower shots Cloud9 took or LYON took in this sequence, counting that inhibitor turret at the very beginning, it'd be double digits. They took so much damage from that, plus the Misfortune ultimate cover from, yeah. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. Oopsies, we might have gotten a little too hyped with our lead, with the Elder Dragon buff, with the Ocean Soul buff, but now Cloud9 with the Baron buff. Let's see if they can do it again. Can they defend?
Okay, Vulcan finds a slam onto Oddielan, but he immediately jumps in with a twisted advance. Keeper's Verdict, though, launches Audie and Saint right back out. Hostile takeover finds Vulcan, but LYON using some tools here without finding any great advantages. Blaber chasing after Licorice. LYON just trying to continue to scrap as Oddielan goes forward. He wanted to find Zven, but he can't quite do it. Now he's drowsy for the redemption, looking to heal him up as Lyonz is going to get popped by the bullet time. Zven is shredding health bars right now. LYON makes a counterattack, and they'll kill Loki. It's a 1-for-1, and LYON's not done. Into the back line goes Oddielan. He wants Vulcan, but he won't find him. Cloud9 just got everybody!
Go Nexus! They've got Baron buff!
Down mid. Go!
Nexus! Go for the end! Cloud9 did it again! They defended, and they will storm back over Summoner's Rift to push us to a game. No, wait a second.
Wait, no minions! There they are. Okay,
minions.
the minions have arrived, but the minions are in the enemy base. C9 should be able to break. Okay. I thought we were about to have a FlyQuest Team Liquid moment here.
Wait, 10 seconds on Lyonz. What is your faith in just a Renata to be able to defend?
The TP's coming back now. Thanatos cleared the wave, so now he's ready to join. Renata, you have to pull off the most amazing play of all time right now, but it's not going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 3.